You were at Weicker, so was I.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, by the way.
Yeah, for 10 years. And at Weichert is when we started our team concept. I approached my partners, Gordon Crawford and Phyllis Giordano at the time. I always represented sellers. That was my thing. They liked working with the buyers. I said, hey, let's create a team. There was
Hmm.
the Craig Proctor. Reason I bring this up because it started with Craig Proctor. He was the
Oh,
first
really?
guy out there that was really promoting the team concept on any kind of.
Interesting.
So we went up to Newmarket, Ontario to one of his conferences,
Really?
find out about what this team thing was all about. And then we came back and started our team at Weichert. And at that time, there were no teams in Weichert. I don't know that there were any teams in the state of New Jersey for that matter. This is 1997. I don't know, something like that. And yeah, so we started it there. They didn't really know what to do with us. And we saw that there was going to be a lot of restriction to running that model. And we needed something that was more an open office where we could do it the way we wanted to do it. And that was the move. And then Gordon and
Yeah.
I ran as partners for 15 years.
You were planning your next move. What were you looking for at that time?
I was looking for something different. There was a lot
Yeah.
of noise out there. I've always been a subscriber to MN News about all these new players that were entering the market with different models, Encompass being one of them. I talked to a few different ones, but I made the decision that Compass more fit my business model. And what really appealed to me, I think there were three things, and I still promote it to this day on all of my listing appointments. One was the technology, more of a plug and play. I'm always trying to figure out the technology. And did I buy the right one? Did I buy the wrong one? Now I got to get on board and learn it. By the time I learn it, there's something new. It's like, I had enough of this. I'm running in circles. So let me get into somebody who I can just plug and play. The technology was a big part of it. The concierge service was a big part of it. We were doing at that time and have been for many years. So we were doing a lot of that. We were pitching the concept a lot for a lot of years. And then concierge first came along. It didn't have a cap either. That the kind of cap it has now. I was like, you got to be
Yeah.
kidding me. I can give my people basically put this money up front and have all this stuff done. They don't have to take a dollar out of their pocket. Yeah, that was a big attraction. And then I think the other part of it was too that in our market, and we're probably further west than most Compass offices. In fact, I believe we are the furthest west office in New Jersey. And and a lot of our buyers are coming out of the New York City.
Unbelievable.
Yep. So I just want to have greater access to those buyers and then networking with having the capability of networking and connecting with more of the buyers that are coming out of those key market areas. Yep.
Very cool. I love the Compass office in Morristown, by the
Yeah.
way. It's a great
Yeah.
office. Great
Good,
location.
great space. Yeah. That was the other thing that was appealing to being at Compass. Just
Yeah.
more of that corporate structure that you felt like you were not working in somebody's garage. You were working in commercial A space. Like we have probably the best office space in all of Morristown.
A little bit more about your concierge services. How do you guys operate now? How do you pitch it?
Yeah. We're still working on the right messaging to market it, to get more people to open the door. And I have a couple of things that I've wrestled with recently, ideas. You're pitching all the time to sellers. All right, how do you get in the door to meet with the seller? How do you get in early? Concierge is an early visit. But a lot of people today in this market, they don't want to do anything and they don't have to do anything. They can get out, still get a good profit. They're not going to net as much as they would have if they had made improvements, but they're looking for an easy sale. The whole idea of trying to get out in front, and usually it's, hey, let me offer you a free market analysis, right? So I'm trying to think of it more in the terms of a free after repair value. You look at it from an investor
I like
standpoint.
that.
And we do this on all of our market analysis now. We're starting to even expand. We're giving two prices. Like, here's your as-is price. And some houses, as-is is fully repaired. There is nothing to do. But most houses have something they can do. And some of them, a lot. So in some cases, we're giving up to four prices. We're like, here's an as-is investor price. Here's an as-is retail price. Here is with basic improvements. And here is fully renovated. And then concierge is the hook, which is to say, hey, let us come out and show you with our concierge money how much more we can put in your pocket. You'll find out what that number is. For me to be able to communicate that number to you, I have to come out, I have to see your home, I have to see what needs to be done. I have to do an analysis to determine what the as-is value is. I have to determine what are the repairs that we can do with that money that will give the greatest return on investment. And I'm finding from the different projects that we've done, if it's not $2 for every $1 in this market, don't do it. And it
Right.
can be as much as $4 for every $1.
Yeah.
The most that I've seen on return. Hey, yeah, here's 25,000. Let me turn it into 100 for you.
You had an interesting, there was another way you pitched that.
Yeah, I know where you're going with that. It's the whole idea of an investment. So I was actually in the bond business before I got in real estate. So a little bit of analytics and listing it from the investor point of view, which is to say, hey, look, if you had $25,000 today that you could put into the market, and in 90 days I could get you back 50 or 100, would you do it? Of course you would do it. So, okay, let me show you how I can do that. And guess what? You're buying it all on margin. I put up the 25,000. I tell you what to do. I tell you the selections to be. I can even coordinate the estimates, can oversee the contractors. And if you sell it as is without these improvements, it's this. And if you do it with it, it's whatever it is. And again, I think it can be as much as 4X. So there you
And it
go.
doesn't have to come out of their pocket.
Right. If someone came to you and said, hey, I got an investment, you don't have to put up any money. All you have to do is make the decision to do it. I'll put up the money and it's $25,000. And in, let's say it takes 2 months to do the repairs, come to market 2 months on the market before you close. In 120 days, I'll give you 100,000. Okay, did you do it? Of course you'd do it. Everybody would do it. Now, I shouldn't say everybody would do it. Everybody wouldn't do it because the whole process for some people of going through the repairs, renovations, whether we're putting up the money, whether we're coordinating or not, they just want an easy sale. They don't want to go down that road. Okay, fine. Don't go down that road. Just, I want you to have options. And that's what we've been doing. It hasn't resonated real well. And I think I have to rethink the way I communicate the messaging is one of the marketing direct mail pieces that we've been putting out. So I have within my geographic farming area, I have a most likely to sell list with about 2,000 people on it that I send postcards to every month. And then I have a newspaper that goes to all 10,000 addresses with an ad, whole page every month. And then I put a lot of this messaging into that marketing to try to draw people in. So our messaging, pull up one, it's about, hey, we want to give you more options, right? You choose the options that's best for you. You want to sell as is? We have an as is option. You want to sell cash to an investor? We can bring you that. You want to sell as is retail? That's different terms, different price. It's all risk reward. Obviously, the best terms is a cash investor as is. Okay, that's going to be usually the lowest price. The next highest price is going to be as is to a retail user. Then it could be with basic improvements to a retail user or fully renovated to a retail user. And so there's your options. And then the other options now that are becoming even more prevalent within Compass is you want to sell on market or off market, right? What's your choice? So I had one recently where older couple been in the house for over 50 years, right? They were moving to assisted living facility in Florham Park. They were meeting with 3 different real estate agents. So I was one of the agents.
Can I ask you one question? Were you meeting with the sellers themselves or were you meeting with their children?
Just the sellers themselves. Children weren't involved at all. And they were very sharp.
Got it.
And I could see just sitting at the kitchen table that all the stuff that they had to keep, their whole thing was about how are we ever going to get this stuff out of our house and get this house ready for the market?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you don't have to do that. I said, what's more important to you? Squeezing every dollar out of the sale of this home or an easy sale? This 80-year-old man almost jumped across the table and grabbed me in a bear hug to say, easy sale. And I was like, okay, I can do that for you. That's called off market, right? We don't have to prep your house. We don't have to, declutter it. In fact, here's what I think I can do for you is you leave whatever you want behind, right? Take only what you want to take. All the stuff you were going to try to get rid of, just leave it. I'll have the buyer get rid of it. And I said, and I knew at that moment in time, I had 2 buyers that I could bring tomorrow. And probably both of them would want to buy your house. Now, And I knew they had already spoken with 2 other real estate agents, and they were like, "Nobody else gave us this option." I was like, "Yeah, because they're trying to take you and fit you into a slot because this is what they do. They only have one option. I want to give you options. I'm telling you that you could be leaving money on the table." I firmly believe the only way that you can test the limits of the market price-wise is that you have to do everything to bring every buyer into competition with every other buyer. Anything short of that may not get you to the limits of the market, right? The only way you know for sure is to go through that process. So I have that conversation, but I don't want to squeeze every dollar out of it. Then it's an off-market sale. You've spoken with 2 other agents that have given you price and opinions. Now I need you to tell me the price. I don't want to influence you on the number if we're going to bring our buyers direct. You tell me, I'm going to tell these buyers, this is the number. If you want to buy it off market. And I knew these buyers had all been in competition and lost out previously. And I believe there's a premium in the market for avoiding that, right? So you can still get a great price from an individual buyer just by telling them that, hey, this is the price. It's yours at this price, but it's not negotiable. And so that's what we did. We brought 2 buyers into that home, and one of the 2 buyers purchased the property. They left everything they didn't want to take behind, and it was perfect sale for them.
Wow. That's a great success story.
Our most current version of that has been taking the Compass exclusive. So there's different versions of how you can pitch that. Now, the other thing I'm able to do, and it's again, just the market conditions that we have at this time that won't last forever. But while they last, more and more sellers would love to have an off-market sale. Hey, I don't want to go through that process. I don't want to have an open house. I don't want people coming in and out of my house. You got somebody who'll give me my price, make it
Definitely
easy
seen a
for me.
shift.
So I'm definitely getting more of that. Now, I always use a disclaimer, which is even if you get what looks like a premium price based on our analysis, I'll never know if we could have gotten more by not fully testing it. But if you're comfortable with that, let's do it. And I'm finding that most people are, hey, if I can get to this number and an easy sale, I'll take this number and an easy.
Is that reflecting in your marketing right now?
It is. We are using that terminology, the easy sale. What's most important to you? Ease of sale or squeezing every dollar out of a sale, right? Some people use it, they don't call it ease of sale. They have another term for it. I like the use of easy sale. If you really think about it, for a lot of people, squeezing every dollar out of it is the number one goal.
It used to be, but I've seen a shift.
Mostly because people have tons of equity in their home now. So yes, I agree with you. It has shifted somewhat, but there's still a lot of people that are all about, I want to squeeze every dollar out of it. Whatever we have to do to get every dollar out of it, that's what I want to do. Okay, then this is the road we have to go down. If you're telling me squeezing every dollar out of it isn't important, and what is more important is getting a fair price and making it super easy, then we go down this road. We have a different option for you. Yeah.
I had a seller call me the other day off one of my postcards, and he said, Sean, I don't want a bunch of strangers traipsing through my home.
Or
Well, I've definitely seen a shift in privacy, discretion, ease.
it's all driven by market conditions. And as long as we have much larger pool of buyers than we have sellers, and people are getting all-time record high prices, that will apply. When that shift occurs and people's equity starts to go away, or they're actually looking at losses, then that will change. I really had to come around to the idea, and I had to hear it more from the consumer before I could believe it, that everybody didn't want to squeeze every dollar out of every sale. Right? And if I didn't do what I thought was right to make that happen, I wasn't living up to my fiduciary responsibility. And now I realize that's not the case. So that's not what's most important to everybody. So give people the options, let them choose. Those are the only 2 buyers who saw the house. One of them gave the seller his price and his terms, which was, you can leave anything you want behind. And they took that deal. So yeah, it's a different market where there are many more options that you can give to the seller than the one size fits all option that's existed forever.